of Lord Have Mercy. We'll also be having meditation hymn, You Are My Hiding Place. The eulogy here will be given by Gilvano Swayze. The body of the late Honorable David Dido Vega is about to be taken out of the hearse. As you can see, the people who are doing so are in their protective gears. The body is being taken out at this time, and the guard of honor by the Belize Defense Force is being marched off. They are now leaving the premises here at the Mount Calvary Cemetery, where the official funeral service is taking place. This broadcast comes courtesy of the Government of Belize Press Office and Love FM. Just continuing with the program, as the body is being prepared to be taken out of the hearse, we can see government officials and family members coming here to the area that has been designated with seating for family members, for government officials, and for others who may want to be present at this time. Mostly executive officials from his committee, the committee of the late David Dido Vega. We see family members coming in, taking their seats. It's a rather sad occasion for Corozal, by extension the Corozal district, and more so the residents of the Corozal Bay Division, which he represented for a brief time, a month exactly, because it was on the 11th of November that he won handsomely in the general elections, and he passed away on the 11th of December, which is a month exactly from the time that he won. We already have here with us Prime Minister John Briceño. We see other government officials coming in. We have family members who are here, and other friends and sympathizers of the family who are here with us this afternoon. The official remembrance will be delivered by the Honorable Florencio Marin Jr., as well as by the Honorable Karim Musa. Karim, I've been told, is a close family friend, so he'll be making his presentation, while Florencio Marin Jr. will be doing so on behalf of government. Remembrance will also be given by Leslie Rodriguez, and this will be followed by the Belize National Anthem and the Internment. That is the order of the program here, which will be closely followed. Everything will be done precisely as indicated here. The body is at this time being taken out of the hearse and is draped with the Belize flag, while the BDF band plays as the body is taken directly to the tomb. The body is being taken directly to the tomb, where there will also be service for the order of internment at the Mount Carmel Cemetery here in Corozal Town. The order of that internment will be the marching of the firing party. We'll have the burial rites, then the internment, the official salute, the retreat. That will be the playing of the last post. We'll have a minute of silence. There will also be the playing of the reveille and the handing of wreaths by government officials and the singing of hymns. That's the order of internment at the tomb that has been constructed here for the late Honorable David Dido Vega. family officials and other sympathizers are already in place, already taking their seats, getting ready for the official burial for the late Honorable David Dido Vega. In case you just joined us, let me run by quickly the order of the service. The main celebrant will be Father Sergio Rafael Hernandez Perez. The musician is Rick Patch. The opening words will be done, as well as a silent prayer, a blessing with holy water, the singing of Lord have mercy, meditation hymn. The hymn chosen is You Are My Hiding Place. The eulogy will be then delivered. This will be done by Gilvano Swayze. Official remembrance will be delivered by the Honorable Florencio Marin Jr. in addition to Honorable Karim Musa. Remembrance will be delivered by Leslie Rodriguez. There will be the playing of the Belize national anthem and the Internment. We're coming to you live from Mount Calvary Cemetery in Corozal Town. This is the official funeral service, official spiritual service of thanksgiving for the life of the late Honorable David Dido Vega, and this broadcast comes courtesy of the Government of Belize Press Office and Love FM. We say thank you to our listeners, our viewers, for joining us for this occasion, a rather sad one. We thank you for joining us. In just a few, we should be getting started with what has been called by the Catholic Church the official spiritual service of thanksgiving for the life of the late Honorable David Dido Vega. And the booklet here reads, One thing I ask from the Lord, this only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze on the beauty of the Lord and to seek him in his temple. That's coming from Psalms 27:4. The late Honorable David Dido Vega was born on December 5th, 1973, and he died on 11th December 2020. We say may his soul rest in peace. And we're here at the Mount Calvary Cemetery in Corozal Town. It's a sunny day, just right for the occasion, giving us hope, giving us strength to pull through this, especially the family members who no doubt are going through a lot during their time of bereavement. As soon as we get word that the official service will commence, we will be joining the main podium where everything will be taking place from. Everything will be done from that specific area. Just to mention that the body is now at the tomb. We see the arrival of the acting Governor General, who is the Cabinet Secretary at this time. So the officials are arriving as scheduled. We already have them in place. Family members are also here and other sympathizers, more so people from the Corozal district in general, wider Corozal town, and the officials who served on his executive. They are all here. In the distance we can see people who came to view from afar the official funeral service for the late Honorable David Dido Vega. The Prime Minister, Honorable John Briceño, has now arrived and in a few, momentarily, we should be getting started with the official funeral service, which again by the Catholic Church is called the official spiritual service of thanksgiving for the life of the late Honorable David Dido Vega. You're listening to Love FM and the Government of Belize Press Office, through which this broadcast is made possible. We're here at the Mount Calvary Cemetery in sunny Corozal town. As I mentioned, it's a rather sad day for Corozal, for the country and the whole. We have lost a hero. He was known as a warrior in this part of the country, in his area specifically in the Corozal Bay Division. That's the late Honorable David Dido Vega. Recently he completed, as I mentioned, his 47th birthday. The same day of his birthday he was hospitalized at a private medical facility in Belize City. He passed away a couple of days later while receiving treatment, and he leaves to mourn his wife, his two daughters, his siblings and other relatives, and by extension his friends and supporters of the Corozal Bay Division that he represented for exactly 1 month. Dido, as he was affectionately known, entered the field of politics shortly after the 2008 general elections. He was persistent in accomplishing his dream, that of representing the people of the Corozal Bay Division, which he did on November 11th when he had a resounding victory at the polls. In addition, the late David Dido Vega was an avid sports aficionado. He not only played basketball but coached several teams here in Corozal. As a teacher by profession, up to the time of his death, he taught at the Corozal Junior College. He was a staff member since 2006 and was the Cape math teacher. He also taught for 1 year at the University of Belize before joining the Corozal Junior College. He was recently granted leave to contest last month's general elections. He's also a past graduate of the Corozal Community College and the Corozal Junior College. He was also a member of the Board of Governors for CCC, serving as a staff representative. In brief, that's part of what we can say about the late David Dido Vega. Again, this is the official funeral service. This is an official funeral service, not a state funeral. It's an official. And we're also joined by Positive Vibes Radio, joining us in this broadcast. So this is coming to you by the Government of Belize Press Office, Love FM and Positive Vibes Radio. We're here again at the Mount Calvary Cemetery in Corozal Town for the official funeral service for the life of the late Honorable David Dido Vega. At this time we can see the main celebrant, who is Father Sergio Rafael Hernandez Perez. He's now at the podium, so this indicates that the service, the official service, should be starting anytime now.
Hoy del Espíritu Santo, hermanos, la muerte de nuestro hermano David, mejor conocido como Dido Vega, nos entristece y nos recuerda hasta qué punto es frágil y breve la vida del ser humano, pero también tenemos la fe y el consuelo de que Él realmente no ha muerto, sino que está en el descanso de los justos, esperando la resurrección de la carne. En este momento especialmente triste y doloroso, oremos por su alma, oremos por su eterno descanso, oremos también por sus parientes, que han quedado con una gran tristeza y un gran duelo, pero también por esta nación, que había puesto muchas esperanzas sobre de Él. Oremos también para que nuestra esperanza no vacile. Del Santo Evangelio según San Juan. En aquel tiempo Jesús dijo a sus discípulos: no pierdan la paz. Si creen en Dios, crean también en mí. En la casa de mi Padre hay muchas habitaciones. Si no fuera así, yo se los habría dicho a ustedes. Ahora voy a prepararles un lugar. Cuando me haya ido y les haya preparado un lugar, volveré y los llevaré conmigo, para que donde yo esté, estén también ustedes. Y ya saben el camino para llegar al lugar a donde voy. Entonces Tomás le dijo: Señor, no sabemos a dónde vas. ¿Cómo podemos saber el camino? Jesús le respondió: yo soy el camino, la verdad y la vida. Nadie va al Padre si no es por mí. Palabra del Señor. Quisiera solamente dar unas muy breves palabras. El día de hoy estamos aquí reunidos con una gran tristeza acompañando a una familia, también con nuestra oración acompañando a Ingrid Vega y a sus hijas, que tampoco desafortunadamente pueden estar en este momento con nosotros. ¿Está por acá Rayana? Ok. También estamos acompañando a sus hermanos, a su hermana, a sus hermanitos, a Celdi, a Germain, Elvi, Susi y al resto de su familia, que están tristes por esta gran pérdida. También estamos acompañando a un grupo de personas que lo estimaba realmente, que lo quería y que habían puesto muchas esperanzas en él. Muchos pueden decir qué tanto pudo haber hecho en un solo mes. Yo les quiero decir, y no por compararlo con Jesús, puesto que no hay una comparación, pero sí por poner un ejemplo. Jesús, aquí en la tierra de actividad, tuvo 3 años, y en 3 años logró fundar una religión donde profesamos el amor, la paz, la bondad, la misericordia y la compasión. Dido, por las pláticas con las que tuve oportunidad de tener con él profesaba también una fe muy grande por tratar de estar con los pobres. No amaba la pobreza, de hecho, quería eliminar la pobreza, pero sí amaba a los pobres y quería estar con ellos y se hizo amigo de ellos y estaba junto con ellos. Hoy, que este legado de un mes, pero de un trabajo previo junto con Ingrid, que deje a muchos este mismo interés que él mostraba, estar con el pobre, y no por ser pobre, sino porque quiere salir adelante con él. No dejemos que muera entonces esta memoria tan importante de alguien que luchaba en contra de un mal social. Luchemos por un bien social para todos nosotros, para toda esta nación, para que crezca, para que seamos mejores. Vamos ahora a cumplir con el deber de dar sepultura al cuerpo de nuestro hermano. Fieles a la costumbre cristiana, lo haremos pidiendo con fe a Dios, para quien todos estamos vivos, que admita su alma entre sus santos, y que este cuerpo que hoy vamos a enterrar, lo resucite el Señor un día lleno de vida y de gloria. Que en el momento del juicio sea misericordioso para con nuestro hermano, para que libre de la muerte, absuelto de sus culpas, reconciliado con el Padre, llevado sobre los hombros del buen pastor, y agregado al séquito del Rey eterno, disfrute para siempre de la gloria eterna y de la compañía de los santos. Los invito a que en un momento de silencio hagamos una oración por Dido. No temas, hermano, Cristo murió y resucitó por ti. El Señor te protegió durante la vida, por eso ahora esperamos que también te librará en el último día de la muerte que acabas de sufrir. Por el bautismo fuiste hecho miembro de Cristo resucitado. El agua que ahora vamos a derramar sobre tu cuerpo nos lo recordará.
And what is being done at this time is that the main celebrant, whose father Sergio Rafael Hernandez Perez is going to the tomb. He's making his way to the tomb to bless the casket, bless the basket, the body with holy water. The main celebrant again is Father Sergio Rafael Hernandez Perez, and he has made his way to the tomb where the body of the late Honorable David Dido Vega is. The musician Enrique Rick Patch.
Oh Lord, have mercy. Oh Lord, have mercy. Oh Christ, have mercy. Oh Christ, have mercy. Oh Lord, have mercy. Oh Lord, have mercy. Have mercy. Have mercy.
That was the singing there by the musician Enrique Rick Patch of Lord Have Mercy. We should be having, following the program, meditation, hymn, and
En tus
a prayer.
manos, Padre de bondad, encomendamos a nuestro hermano Dido, con la firme esperanza de que lo resucitarás en el último día, lleno de vida y de gloria. Te damos gracias por todos los dones con los que lo enriqueciste a lo largo de su vida. En ellos reconocemos un signo de tu amor y un signo de comunión fraterna con todos los santos. Dios de misericordia, acoge las oraciones que te presentamos por este hermano nuestro que acaba de dejarnos y ábrele las puertas de tu mansión eterna, y a sus familiares y amigos, y a todos nosotros, los que hemos quedado en este mundo. Concédenos sabernos consolar con palabras de fe, hasta que también lleguemos al momento de volver a reunirnos con Él, junto a ti, en el gozo de tu reino eterno. Por Jesucristo nuestro Señor.
And we will again be joining the musician Enrique Rick Patch for the meditation hymn that is titled You Are My Hiding Place. Following the meditation hymn, there should be the eulogy that will be delivered here today by Gilvano Sueze, followed by official remembrance by Honorable Florencio Marin Jr. and Honorable Karim Musa. We again join Enrique Rick Patch.
You are my hiding place. You always fill my heart with songs of deliverance. Whenever I am afraid, I will trust in you. You are my hiding place. You always fill my heart with songs of deliverance. Whenever I am afraid, I will trust in you. I will trust in you. Let the weak say I am strong in the strength of the Lord. You are my hiding place. You always fill my heart with songs of deliverance. Whenever I am afraid, when I am afraid, when I am afraid, I will trust in you.
And that was a beautiful rendition of the meditation hymn, You Are My Hiding Place, by Enrique Rick Patch.
Abra las puertas del triunfo a nuestro hermano. Terminado el duro combate de su vida mortal, entre como vencedora por las puertas de los justos, y entone cantos de victoria por los siglos de los siglos, y a todos nosotros nos dé la certeza de que no está muerto, sino que duerme, de que no ha perdido la vida, sino que reposa, porque ha sido llamado a la vida eterna, por los siglos de los siglos. Amén. Dale, Señor, el descanso eterno, y para él que descanse en paz.
Amén.
Those were words of the main celebrant, Father Sergio Rafael Hernandez Perez, and we also heard from Enrique Rick Patch, who did the meditation hymn, You Are My Hiding Place, and also the singing of Lord Have Mercy. We'll be having the eulogy next.
Good afternoon.
It's being delivered by Gilvano Swayze.
On behalf of we want to thank you all for joining us today in this very sad moment. It's a sad time and a scary time. It reminds me of the saying, he who feels it knows it. And today we're feeling it because we know what has happened. David Dido Vega, also affectionately known as D, was born on December 5th, 1973 at his home at 103 5th Avenue, Corozal Town. Born to Elvia Swayze Vega and David Vega, who are both now deceased, Dido was the second child of 6 children, 3 boys and 3 girls. Iselda Vega, David Vega himself, Elvia Samos, Hermain Vega, Susie Vega, and Diego Vega, who had passed away. Dido attended St. Francis Xavier Primary School. His sister Seldy clearly remembers during the years of primary school that their dad put up a basketball hoop, and Dido fell in love with basketball from that day on. This also caused all the kids from the neighborhood to come to their house and play basketball. During his primary school years, D was an altar boy and also was in the Boy Scouts. Seldy remembers that their mother would encourage D and her to sell cookies at school to make some extra cash. But D was embarrassed, and he would return home without money and without cookies. So one day, the mother decided to have both D and Seldy work the team together, where D would hold the cookies and Seldy would collect. But D was still not too happy with this job, and he would throw away all the cookies, so he didn't have to do it. After primary school, D went on to attend Corozal Community College, where he, like his sister Seldy, again chose to study in the academic field to run away from their mom, who was a teacher and was teaching business at CCC. D was very athletic in high school. He was in the high school basketball and volleyball teams. During the years at high school, he met his high school sweetheart and future wife, Ingrid Mendez. Whilst attending high school, he would spend most of his time picking up empty soda bottles to make extra cash on the side. and he would also find weekend and holiday jobs in town. He realized that working hard and doing many jobs would pay off in the end, even after the cookie incident. After high school, Dee then went on to Corozal Junior College to major in mathematics and physics. After CGSE, Dee pursued further education at the University of North Florida in Jacksonville, Florida. He graduated having a bachelor's in pure mathematics and a minor in physics. He continued more studies, and years later, Dee graduated with a master's in pure mathematics. During these years, Dee had to make many sacrifices. He had to work several jobs and also focus on his studies at the same time. He was an assistant teacher at Jacksonville and even worked at Wendy's, the fast food restaurant. His sister Susie remembers visiting with their mom on one summer vacation. Dee had asked that Ingrid pick him up from one of his part-time jobs. Susie asked delightedly if she could go along, and as they got closer to the location, Susie said that Dee was sitting on the sidewalk, hunchback, sleeping, and was tired as can be. This showed how much of a hard worker Dida was, and how willing he was to go the extra mile for his education. His sister Elvie remembers clearly a time when she was really, really down, and also attending University of North Florida. Dida was there to comfort her and reassure her that everything would be okay and that he would always be there for her. This is a quality Dida has always shown throughout his life, being positive and always giving hope. In December of 2000, Dee married his high school sweetheart Ingrid, and later had two beautiful daughters, Brianna and Kelsey. Dee loved his girls with all his heart. They were his world. He always called them mi vida or mi amor. Ingrid was his nen, baby, or babe. Dida loved his family. Whenever he referred to them, he would say, my girls, including Ingrid. After teaching at the University of North Florida for a while, he decided he wanted to return home. He began teaching at the University of Belize in Belmopan for a while. Later on, he got a job at his hometown Corozal. At the Corozal Junior College. He taught mathematics for many years, and during this time, he became interested in politics. This was because he saw that many students struggling to make payment for their education. He knew this struggle, he himself being going through it for many years. He believed and felt that if he could be part of the government and the decision makers, he could help make a positive change for all. At first, people didn't know Dee. He had been away for so long. He lost his first convention by only 12 votes. After many years of pursuing and overcoming many obstacles, he finally won the general elections by 408 votes on November 11, 2020. The people of Corozal Tong Bay were so happy. The gentle giant had won, and they had big hopes in him. A few days before his birthday, which was on December 5th, he fell ill. He tested positive for COVID-19. He battled with this deadly disease, and many people were praying and were concerned. On the 11th December, exactly 1 month after his victory at the polls, he was called by our Creator, who saw that he was suffering. Dee is now with his loving parents and little brother, and heaven has gained an angel. He is where there is no pain and no suffering. David Dida Vega, also known as Dee, leaves behind his wife Ingrid, his daughters Brianna and Kelsey, his brother Ermayin, sisters Seldy, Elvie, and Susie, sister-in-laws Daisy, Suzanne, brother-in-laws Enrique Samos and George Mendez, nieces and nephews Leanne, Ermayin Jr., Naila, Elijah, David Diego Vega, uncles and aunts, cousins, and many friends and supporters. Many remember David Dida Vega as a positive, forgiving, independent, no-worry kind of man who likes to tease. May he rest in peace and rise in glory. Amen. Thank you.
That was the eulogy given there by Gilvano Swayze. Coming up next, we should be having the official remembrance, and this will be done by the Honorable Florencio Marin Jr., who is representing government, and by the Honorable Karim Musa, who I've been told was a close family friend, and he will also be delivering some words. Making his way to the podium is the Honorable Florencio Marin Jr. for the official remembrance. This is the official funeral service for the late David Dido Vega.
Ecclesiastes 3:1-4 says, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to uproot, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to tear down, and a time to build, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance." Today, with heavy hearts, we gather to remember Honorable David Dido Vega, a man who, by his life and actions, I will never forget. Many are his actions that I would like to share with you, a few of them that I have gathered from some of his friends. They all said that he knew how to work well under pressure. He was a renowned basketball player. Everyone remembers a famous game being played in Belize City at Excelsior High School for the Nationals. They say that was a tight game, and Dido was fouled. CCC was down by 2 points. He got the 2 free throws, and the stadium was packed. They said, "Dido, step up. Step up to the free throw line." And boom, Dido scores 2 free throws. Game went into overtime. His classmates have never forgotten how cool he was under pressure. In the year 2014, I remember Dido coming to me to say he was ready to enter the political field. I asked him, "Dido, you sure? This rough, you know." He told me, "Deputy, I'm as sure as the time I wanted my bachelor's degree. I had no money. I saved enough for a one-way ticket to Florida and went and just parked in front of the university." I asked him again, and he repeated the same story. From then, I was convinced that he had that drive, that inner strength, the right material to be a PUP standard bearer and one who would deliver for us. He did return successfully with his bachelor's degree. During this time, after he formally entered, we went through various elections, municipal and village councils. Always, he was front and center, never backing down. These were tough times when you're in opposition. Just his presence next to me helped me get through. I could tell you it was rough. Dido had a gift, a mathematical mind. I remember during the counting for the last municipal elections, like about 20 minutes afterwards, he texted me, "We are going to win." I was skeptical, and so I called him. I called him, and he said, "I am in the counting room, and I am 99.6% sure we will win." Upon hearing that, I was celebrating already. Dido told me that. That's good for me. This skill he repeated for several village council elections in my area. I remember another time he was in the counting room, and he called me early. He said, "We win, Deputy." And that's all I needed to know. I never need to hear anything else. Afterwards, we asked him, how does he know? How does he know right shortly after the counting starts, the counting of the ballots? How does he know we will win? I believe it was his mathematical mind. He gave us some explanation that made sense at the time, but Small minds like us now fully comprehend how he did it, but he did it. We could only marvel at his brilliant mind. He also had run for municipal elections previously to that. He gave his heart and soul. Dido was not successful in that, but one thing we all know, he made inroads to what was his successful career, sadly cut short. His colleague, his campaigner, one of his executive member, Teacher Zene, relayed to me one story that I believe really connects who this guy is. He said this young man said that he went to Teacher Dido and asked him for help. Dido, knowing full well that this young man's parents were UDP supporters, he did not hesitate. He immediately gave an assistance for the school fees. The student said, Teacher Zene, we really needed that help. Of course, I will vote for him. No man stands so tall as when he stoops to help the less fortunate. David Dido Vega was a tall and a giant man. Goodbye, my friend. Your candle glowed long before your legend ever will. I will never forget you. Thank you.
That's the official remembrance given on behalf of government by the Honorable Florencio Marin Jr. We should be having now another speaker coming up to do official remembrance on behalf of the family. The Honorable Kari Musa, he's making his way to the podium. I've been told that he is a close family friend.
Prime Minister, opposition, members of parliament, the Vega family, Elvi, Seldi, Mayin and Susie, Brianna and Kelsey. Friends, as we gather in this Corozal Bay of what was once known as the Maya state of Chak Tumal, we come to say goodbye and show respect to our brother, whose ancestors endured invasion, occupation, and war. We must remain hopeful and never allow the fire that he kept burning to make the lives of people better diminish in any way. Dido Vega is a man that if you met him on a bus, you would feel after a 15-minute ride that he was your lifelong friend. He lived his life in full energy mode, engaging and passionate. Those who knew Dido loved him because he was fearless, charismatic, and inspiring. Many years ago, I remember this tall, imposing man coming into St. Mary's Hall in Belize City for a PUP convention. He had journeyed 90 miles to show his support for his political hero, the Lion of Fort George, Said Musa. And because he showed such admiration and respect for my father, I think it made me instantly connect with him. Now, many years later, having fought on the battlefield of Corozal Bay alongside Dido and his resilient and tenacious team, I can say that those tables have turned and Dido became my hero. Since that fateful evening in 2013, we not only remain political warriors, but friends, confidants, brothers. For years, Dido Vega built a political movement in Corozal Bay based on two big ideas: the community first and the youths at the table of power. Dido was a mathematician with an incalculable love for people. His work as a teacher established his credibility among the young, and he harnessed their aspirations into the work of nation building. So, his victory on November 11, 2020 was not just a Dido Vega or a PUP win, but a victory to shape a better society. Within days of his election victory, Dido came to lobby me and other ministers in Belmopan to chart the way forward on how he could help out his constituents. He wasted no time, and I sensed his urgency to deliver on his promises to the people. I would like the nation to know what the good people of Corozal Bay already knew, that Dido comes from a family of faith and love. His late mother, Elvia Vega, was beloved by the entire community, and she raised her son to live respectful in the service of others. Today, we gather in the community of Dido Vega. We gather thinking of his dear wife, Ingrid, who is in the hospital fighting the dreaded COVID-19. We gather thinking about Brianna and Kelsey, Dido and Ingrid's beautiful daughters. We are people of faith, and we come here humbly asking for your strength and guidance as the Vega family endures this unimaginable pain. Seldy, Elvi, Susie, and Mayin, your brother was a fighter like no other, a champion like no other. We owe it to the gentle giant to keep our appointment with history. We must work together to deliver on his dream, new hope for the Bay. I end with how he ended all of his phone calls with me. Okay, hermano, we stay so. Rest in peace, warrior of the Bay, Dido Vega. Thank you.
Those are words from the Honorable Karim Musa, who delivered words of remembrance, being a close family friend. And as you have heard his comments, his remarks, he definitely was a close family friend. Now we have words of remembrance by Leslie Rodriguez.
Good afternoon, everyone. As I gather from, I ask God to give me the strength to deliver this last remembrance of him. Tribute to my gentle, humble giant. Honorable David Sabas Vega, affectionately known as Dido, was a man not so little. When I say not so little, you may say yes. He was the big guy we all buck, hug, or had a long discussion with. Dido was the big guy indeed, the big guy with the big heart, the big math brains, the man with the big voice. You could have been living way at the corner, and you would have known Dido is coming from far. I met Mr. Dido back in 2013 at CGSC. At this time, I was already a graduate of the institution. He was never my lecturer, as we both loved two different things. He loved his math, and I loved my English. So, sitting in his classroom would have never been my thing. But who would have thought that destiny would have crossed our paths? It was in the month of September 2013, going up the stairs to the CGSC bursar to get hold of transcripts. We met, and he hailed me. He had recalled I was one of the faces to be heading over to study abroad. He questioned why I did not go. Upon explaining and understanding, he then requested for me to join his political youth group. This is where it all started. The political connection was there. Somehow or the other, we just felt that good vibe within each other. Like they say in Spanish, nos cayó la sangre. Through the exchange of contact numbers, we began communicating. In the month of October, at the Mary Hill Halloween Fair, I met him again. There, I now met the ambitious Dido, the big guy wanting to aspire and achieve greater things. Now, it was not only about a youth group. Instead, it was the time he wanted me to join his political movement and his road to air representative of Corozal Bay. We began hitting the streets in the early month of November 2013. This was his launch to electoral politics and movement to meeting the residents of Corozal Bay. I can clearly remember that Mrs. Jasmine Acosta and I were his first two faithful warriors to begin the march with him at Joseito Layout. Dido campaigned with a genuine, charismatic, and humble character to every home. It almost seemed as if he had been in politics for years. When expressing himself, I realized he did not require no written piece of paper to know his plans and visions. The guy was good. He spoke from the heart and how he wanted to bring positive changes to his constituency. It was not an easy battle for Dido to accomplish his dreams. Upon the journey, he encountered many barriers. Nevertheless, Dido was the warrior we all knew. He fought 3 conventions and 2 national elections. Out of these 5, he won 2 conventions and 1 national election, which made him the heir representative of Corozal Bay last month, November. Yes, he was my champion, our champion, and son of the Bay. Mr. Dido, my sir, my birthday twin. If I would go on and on, the moments created together will make this an endless speech. You taught me so much. You taught me to discover so many hidden talents. You made me a brave warrior, taking away the shyness to better interact with people. You taught me to serve the people and to realize that when you think life is hitting you hard, there are many people out there being hit harder. You are a giving soul. You taught us to give without hesitation. I can clearly remember that if there was an extra meal at the PUP office and an underprivileged person would drop by, he would say, give him or give her. Mr. Dido, our gordito, we thank you for embracing your executive members as a family. We were not just supporters. You taught us to love and take care of each other. Today is a clear example. United in spirit or present here, we are here ensuring you're honored gracefully and that your legacy is embraced forever in the hearts of everyone watching. Sir, thanks to you, I met your amazing family, a family that made me one of their own and took me in as a daughter. We did not only share political journeys together, but also family trips, dinners, all upon your invitation. I became your right hand, the right hand that did not always want the spotlight. But you made it known that your accomplishments were also based on my hard work, sleepless nights, and dedication. You knew to give credit where it was due. 7 years walking side by side, and knowing this, my heart aches. I knew you had one more dream to accomplish, that dream of serving under a ministerial portfolio. But today I say, you are now the biggest ministers of all. You now serve in the ministry of God, guiding us and protecting us from above. I will remember your smile, your hugs, and your mentorship. The unbreakable bond we created will forever be cherished. I know that right now you would be telling me, no worry less, all will be okay, no stress. May your legacy live on, sir. You touched so many hearts in this life on earth. Along with others, I will ensure your girls are well taken care of and that I follow those footsteps you left behind. Fly high into the kingdom of God, for I know those we love don't go away, but they walk beside us every day. Forever and always, I there with Dido.
Those were words of remembrance by Leslie Rodriguez. Coming up next, we should be having the playing of the Belize national anthem. here again, that's the 21 gun salute. There will be the order of interment now, as you can hear in the background, the 21 gun salute by members of the Belize Defense Force. This all takes place here at Mount Calvary Cemetery in Corozal Town for the official funeral service to honor the life of the late David Dido Vega. He was the representative for the Corozal Bay Division, which he won handsomely in the November 11th general elections. The order of interment here at the Mount Calvary Cemetery will be the burial rites to be performed. Then we have the official salute, the retreat, the playing of the last post. There should be a minute of silence, then the playing of the reveille, the handing of wreaths by government officials, the singing of hymns. That's the playing of the last post. Everybody here, the government officials, the family members and sympathizers are all standing as we have the playing of the reveille. The wreaths will be placed by 4 officials. We have 4 wreaths that will be placed. As soon as that comes up, we'll be relaying it to you, the order in which the wreaths will be laid. This broadcast is coming to you by the Government of Belize Press Office, Love FM and Positive Vibes Radio. We're at the Mount Calvary Cemetery here in Corozal Town. We'll now be having a moment of silence. We have the playing of the reveille that is being played by the Belize Defense Force. This all forms part of the interment that is taking place at this time. And following the playing of the reveille, we should be having the laying of wreaths by the officials. That's what we should be having here following the program, this official spiritual service of thanksgiving for the life of the late Honorable David Dido Vega. This all takes place here at Mount Calvary Cemetery in Corozal Town. It's a rather sad occasion. As I mentioned, we now have escorted to the area the Cabinet Secretary, who is deputizing for the Governor General. We have the other officials walking to that area as the interment now should be taking place anytime now, following the laying of rites. Rites will be laid by Prime Minister John Briceño. We should be having one by the leader of the opposition, Patrick Faber, and as well one by the Honorable Florencio Marin Jr., who in this instance is representing the National Assembly, and the first will be laid by the acting Governor General, who's deputizing. That is, he's deputizing out here for the Governor General. He's deputizing, and he should be laying the first rite. He is being escorted to the area by a Foreign Service officer from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and handed the rite, which will be placed on the tomb of the late Honorable David Dido Vega. This is an official funeral service. The soldier of the Belize Defense Forces is now presenting a rite to the Prime Minister, John Briceño, for him to lay at the tomb of our fallen brother, his fallen colleague, the Honorable David Dido Vega. He has placed it at the foot of the tomb for the late Dido Vega. Another rite will be presented at this time. This is being done by the members of the Belize Defense Force. He is making his way to the area and now being presented to an official who is also out here. Looks like the leader of the opposition. He is also one of the officials that placed the rite, the Honorable Patrick Faber. He just located his rite there in the immediate area of the tomb. This all forms part of the official funeral service here for the late David Dido Vega at Mount Calvary Cemetery. We now have taking his position the Honorable Florencio Marin Jr., who in this instance is representing the National Assembly, being a sitting member. He's being presented with that rite that will be placed at the tomb of his fallen colleague, brother, friend, Honorable David Dido Vega. Again, this is the official spiritual service of thanksgiving for his life. We heard some touching and inspiring words by the persons who delivered the remembrance speeches, and people are out here to pay their last respects, as we say. The officials are now making their way back to their seats after placing the wreaths at the tomb of the late Honorable David Dido Vega. At this time we should be having some hymns that will be sung. Those who will be doing so should be making their way to that area momentarily, as the officials here present are standing as a flag is being presented to the Cabinet Secretary, Stuart Leslie. That's the Belize flag, and that will be handed over to family members. They'll be presented. He's presenting the Belize flag on behalf of the government and people of Belize to the family of the late David Dido Vega. On hand are the late Dido's siblings who are here to receive the flag. They have done so with much love, affection, and admiration for their brother. The Cabinet Secretary, who is deputizing for the Governor General, is now making his way out. He is leaving the immediate area of the cemetery, the Mount Calvary Cemetery. The musicians, the Belize Defense Force Guard of Honor are now leaving, as this brings us to an end of the official funeral service, the official spiritual service of Thanksgiving for the life of the Honorable David Dido Vega here at the Mount Calvary Cemetery. The Guard of Honor, mounted by the elements of the Belize Defense Force, are making their way off. They are leaving the area of the cemetery, and the people who will be placing the final touches to the tomb are doing so at this time, as the Prime Minister John Bresenio is having some words of consolation with the family members who are here. At this time, it's hard to say. You really don't know what to say. All you can say is you're sorry. It's a feeling that you have to go through to really know what is taking place. It's a feeling that is hard to describe. It hurts, but this all forms life. As mentioned, there's a moment for mourning, moment for joy, for reaping, for planting. This is their moment of bereavement. I'm sure the rest of the country, the people of Corozal, more so the residents of the Corozal Bay Division, share those sentiments. We now have the Honorable Florencio Marin. He is delivering some words of consolation, expressing his bereavement to the brothers, sisters, relatives of the late Honorable David Dido Vega. While he is doing so, the other government officials who are here are preparing to make their way out. This is now being done by Prime Minister John Bresenio and the Honorable Karim Musa, as well as the leader of the opposition, Patrick Faber, who all came to be a part of this official funeral service. Minister Dolores Valderramos Garcia is now meeting with the family members. It's a rather brief meeting. We have all the other people who were here. They are leaving the area as this brings to an end the official spiritual service of Thanksgiving for the life of Honorable David Dido Vega. He received an official funeral. As I had explained earlier, the difference between a state and an official funeral. He received an official funeral. As the sympathizers family, friends, supporters of the late Dido Vega in the Corazon Bay Division. They are here expressing words of condolences to family members. They are here, and this is what is taking place at this time. It was a smooth flowing official ceremony, everything to precision, everything planned, no major glitches, and we thank the Almighty for being able to bring to you this broadcast, which came through the courtesy of the Government of Belize Press Office, Love FM, and we were also joined by Positive Vibes Radio. Sympathizers, friends of the family, and other supporters are also expressing words of sympathies to the family members. It was indeed a pleasure and an honor to bring to you this official funeral service celebrating the life of the late Honorable David Dido Vega. With us we had a team from the Government Press Office. They were here. We also had with us technician William Usher and myself, Remembrances, saying it was indeed an honor and a pleasure to have brought to you this official service. Again, just reminding you to keep social distance, wear masks properly, sanitize regularly, and wishing you and yours a safe and a blessed evening. From all of us out here at the Mount Calvary Cemetery, we say it's now back to studios.